It's the first day of daycare and your child is refusing to let go of you. They're crying and screaming. Or it's the first day of preschool and your child's clinging onto you, refusing to go to their teacher. This is known as separation anxiety. At 9 months of age, babies begin to grasp object permanence. This is when they're able to tell that an object they can't see anymore still exists even though it's not visible to them. At this age, or even before this age, babies are able to tell when a parent or a person leaves a room or a space, and then they're going to search for this person, and this may build up anxiety in them. As a parent, you need to understand that this is part of your child's cognitive development. There's nothing wrong with your child having separation anxiety, and this doesn't mean that you're a bad parent for having to leave your child in someone else's care while you work. And no, separation anxiety does not harm your child. Now that you know that this is part of your child's development, you have to learn how to successfully handle this stage. When I was working at a daycare, one of the mistakes that many, if not all parents made was that they would leave without their child's knowledge. So when their child is playing, they will quickly run away. So the child would turn and search for the parent and not find the parent. Then the child will start crying again. This may seem like the ideal way to handle separation anxiety, but this actually does more harm than good. Whether you leave with your child's knowledge or not, your child is still going to cry, so it doesn't help in any way. It only makes it worse. According to Erickson, the first psychosocial crisis during the first year of life is known as the trust versus mistrust. During this stage, infants are uncertain about the world they live in. To resolve these feelings of uncertainty, the infant looks up to their primary caregiver for stability and consistency of care. If the care the infant receives is consistent, predictable, and reliable, they will develop a sense of trust which they will carry to other relationships. When you live without your child's knowledge, you're giving your child a reason not to trust you. They trust that you're there with them, and then the next minute they turn and realize that you're actually not there. They're seeing all these unfamiliar faces and they're wondering who they're going to trust now. This increases their anxiety and makes drop-off even worse. Next time, they're going to hold onto you tighter because they don't want you to live like that again. There are 8 ways that you can successfully handle the separation anxiety phase. You are to come up with a consistent drop-off and pick-up routine. It could be saying goodbye to them, hugging them, kissing them, or blowing kisses to them. Children generally thrive with routines. When a child knows what's to come, they know how to prepare themselves for that. When a child doesn't have a routine, it makes them really insecure and disorganized. So come up with something that you know you can stick to for a really long time. And then at pick-up time, you tell your child how proud you are of them and how much you miss them. So you know that every single day you're doing kisses during drop-off and well done during pick-up time. Eventually, your child will know that having this other person take care of them is safe and it's the new occurrence, so they're going to adjust to it because you built a routine around it. Secondly, do not let your child see you anxious. Separation anxiety can be a lot on parents. Watching your child cry and scream because they don't want to be separated from you can be a lot. But in all that you do, ensure that your child doesn't see you anxious. Let your child see you confident and calm instead. Your child is looking up to you to know how to react. So if they see you anxious, they're going to think that the situation isn't safe. But when you display calmness and confidence, it makes them believe that this situation is actually safe since mom or dad is calm. They may not stop crying immediately, but at least it reassures them. You can also let your child take familiar objects to school. It could be their favorite doll or their favorite teddy bear, or their favorite toy car. Many times when children come into class with items, teachers like to take those items away from them. When these items are taken away from children, it makes them feel unsafe because they are looking up to those items as their source of safety. Many times parents will hold onto their children for a really long time before they hand them over to their teacher, thinking that that's going to help with the separation anxiety. But that just makes your child believe that they're no longer going to this other person. so it actually makes it worse. The faster you do it, the better for both of you. You can also arrange your pictures and pictures of other family members as well, and let your child take those pictures to school. When they're anxious, their teacher is to show them these pictures to remind them that mommy or daddy is going to come back soon. If you're in Nigeria, then you may have to explain to your child's teacher that your child shouldn't be spanked or yelled at. Your child's teacher should let your child know that they understand what your child is going through, and then they should try to distract your child. Spanking or yelling at a child that is dealing with separation anxiety is never the answer to things. This child is looking for who to trust, and spanking or yelling at them is giving them more reason to be anxious. The person caring for your child shouldn't call you or FaceTime you when your child is crying. They also shouldn't remind your child of mommy or daddy. Their job is simply to reassure your child and distract them. They can say something like this: I understand that you miss mommy and daddy. They're going to be back soon. Why don't we paint some pictures? They should create a safe environment for your child, and you also shouldn't be worried. If your child is in a safe environment and the person caring for them understands what they're going through, then you should be calm, because they will eventually adjust to everything. The night or moment before drop-off, you should spend quality time with your child. Before your child turns 9 months, you may want to have another person care for your child while you're there. This may prepare your child for this phase. If your child is used to only seeing your face and having you care for them, it makes separation anxiety worse. The duration for separation anxiety depends on your child's temperament. These are the 8 ways to deal with separation anxiety.